Hello everyone. Today on Disasters with Paul we have the report on the Rotary Spark Gap. This is what I recovered from the little room there, and that was the tie bar. We had one stationary electrode that used to be mounted about like that. You can see how long that electrode sticks out, and it's nice and rounded from where it was glowing. That electrode would glow white hot. The rotor is G10 phenolic, and the disc stood up. I mean, it's delaminating and all, but it's still there. You can see there's a number of electrodes. These are the flying electrodes, and they don't really get as hot as the stationary ones because they're moving through the air, and they get, well, there's 8 of them on the disc, so for each revolution each disc gets jumped twice, one on each side. On the other side we have the other stationary electrode, and it's at about right there. Now, things to notice. First off, you see how far that one sticks out over here. That one used to stick out the same amount. It's moved in. You can see that's not melted, that's shattered. And there's a broken fin on the top here as well. This one here, this one isn't square anymore. This one got hot enough to melt and twist, but the electrode is still in its original position. This tie bar was bolted to an insulator, and it stood about right here. The electrodes there lined up with the stationary one on the other side, and when they lined up, you get a spark jump from the stationary one here to here, through there to the tie bar, through the bar, across to an electrode over here, to the other side, and to the other stationary electrode. You'll notice how far that one sticks out. And you notice that this one is in. It's not in. Also, most of them are fairly rounded, but these are... what I think happened is the electrode that used to be in that hole got loose. The grub screws, the little grub screws that held it in place got loose, and it shifted in the hole. And it hit one of the stationary electrodes, and all these are solid in their holes. When I took this up, that one was loose. Chris has since grabbed that one along with its grub screw, and he's putting them in the cabinet out front, along with our other catastrophic failures. But that electrode got loose, hit one of the stationary ones, knocked it back through its holder, probably busted it off, came around, it got pushed in at the same time. When it came around, it knocked the other one here and pushed it back in to the bar and busted this off. And that's when hot molten tungsten went sailing around. We think we know what caused the majority of the soot. It was the red curtain that was across the archway. Whenever you saw Gemini running, the room in the back where all this was had a curtain to block the brightness of the spark that this thing would generate. And that apparently is what generated all the soot. Now, I'm down in the wood shop, and this room has been cleaned once, first pass. But you can see the floor, and every surface in the entire building is covered in a layer of black soot. The damage to the building from the fire is actually minor. It's the one room where the fire was is where all the actual damage is. The MMC is totally gone, and, well, you can see what the spark gap looks like now. We have some of the remains of the MMC, and the plastic casing of the capacitors literally burned off, and the spiraled aluminum foil kind of plumped up. I have pieces of the aluminum frame melted and formed around these. I mean, we got blocks of aluminum and things like that, where the frame of the MMC literally melted. These were from like the bottom of the pile. And here's some copper wiring with that. I never thought about what the melting temperature of aluminum was versus copper. I always assumed copper was lower, but it turns it's the other way around. Copper is much higher. The copper pipe and wire survived. The aluminum turned to slag. Anyhow, there's some plans for what to do with this. But that's what we have for the Rotary Spark Gap. There isn't much left to show you for the MMC. It basically turned into a puddle on the floor, and you see what we have left. I found the old safety gap we used to have across the MMC. That was removed because the MMC was rated at 80,000 volts, and we were only running it at 30, so we were only at a fraction of its capacity. We weren't near the edge at all. And I found the old tungsten electrodes. There was 4 of them that we pulled out to increase Gemini's bang size. That's what that open hole, you see every 4th hole is open going around. Another one down there. So we pulled 4 electrodes out at one point, and I found those. It's 1/2 inch thick tungsten, I think, or 3/8. Not sure, don't remember. I think these are 1/2, and I think these are 3/8. Anyhow, that's what we have so far. I'll catch you all later.